mute. All right, we are live. Hello, crypto heads. It's the Goose with the Cryptic Paranormal Show. And right over there is Mr. Michael Bradley. What's up, Mike? Mr. Heisenberg. What's happening?
How's it going?
All right, man. We do have special guests Ed WILAND and Jack Warren coming on the show. I had some technical issues with my computer, decided to reboot and start updating and then not go through all the way. Finally got that up and running, and now we got issues getting Ed and Jack in here. So bear with us. We wanted to go live. So bear with us if there's some awkward silence while we try to get these guys on. Both awesome guys. Awesome. Both. Now I'm doing it on mistake. Both awesome guys. Both from the Buckeye Bigfoot Research Group. And we are going to try to get them on, so bear with us while we deal with this. So how's your week been, man?
Been the same. Going to work, coming home.
Oh, that's great. All right, so I got to message these guys real quick, see if we can get them on.
Okay. How many people do we have on tonight so far?
Got 7 people. Let me turn the chat on so we can at least comment with the folks.
Yep.
Obadiah wants to know what the show is about tonight. Tonight it's about Bigfoot.
Yeah, I already answered it.
Gotcha. Okay, keep up the good job. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
I'm messaging Ed right now.
So does anybody have any questions while we're waiting? I can't answer any Bigfoot questions because I don't know that much about them. I learn every time these guys come on the show. I could probably make up an answer for you.
Yeah, you're great at that.
Yeah, I'm great at that. Everything I say should come with a disclaimer.
There you go.
He does not know what he's talking about. He's making shit up. So how you guys doing tonight out there in podcast?
Yeah, I apologize, guys. It's another one of those nights.
Yeah, we're good. We can all hang out together while the Goose tries to figure this stuff out. So, I've been seeing some stuff about.
You got to read Tony's question.
Well, I can't see it.
Oh, when are you gonna volunteer for Bigfoot bait?
I volunteer every day. I am always ready to become Bigfoot bait. I'd like the chance to run though, even though I'm pretty sure I can't outrun it. But I'd at least like to give it a shot. So yeah, bear with us, folks. We're having some technical difficulties. But like I said, I am here to answer your questions. I see Eddie's watching, Tony's watching, Mr. Wooliver's watching. Oh, you got one of our Cryptic Paranormal shirts, Eddie?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So we got Ed coming on here.
What the fuck? This is a fucking pain in the ass.
You got to go
It's a
find
pain
your
in-
buddy. You got to go get your buddy Jack on now.
No, he's slower than me. Trust me. I had a hell of a time. I was about to go drink some beer and say
Hey,
the
man,
hell
you
with it.
Dude, you could do it while we're on the show. I don't care. We're all in
Oh.
our own homes. We're not driving.
Oh, Jack can't connect. He's doing Chrome. Shit.
Yeah, I used to have that problem. Doing Chrome
Yeah.
all the time.
It's a
Oh, we
dangerous
lost
drug.
Oh man, we lost that again.
That's all right. That's about on par. Anybody got any Bigfoot stuff they want to talk about?
Hey Eddie, I'm glad you like the shirt, man. I appreciate you guys purchasing them. If anybody is interested, we could do another dry run. I'm actually trying to get them on the RU Media store page, so that you guys can just order them at will when you guys want them. So be on the lookout for that. Working on that. Lost Ed again. Jax. Hey, Gary, how are you guys doing tonight? Let's just get into chit chat. If they come on, they come on. If not, we'll get them back on again here sometime soon. I don't know if they're having connection issues because of the storm that just went through. Did you guys get a storm?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty for a minute. So maybe they got some connection, and both of them kind of live out in the country a little bit. So
Yeah.
maybe that's it. I don't know. I was having issues getting on myself. So, well, it is what it is. If they come back on, we'll get them up and running. You guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and shout out. Mike and myself, for those who know us, we're the ghost guys. We venture and we bring everybody in the paranormal in. We like to learn about all avenues. Well, at least I do. Mike is on the fence about some of it.
I like ghosts.
But, yeah. Hello, Holly. How are you? But what were you going to say? You said you were seeing a lot of what on the internet, or what were you about to say?
Well, on the Facebook, I saw that Mike Hatcher post something that somebody was charging for doing the residentials, and they said they're a licensed ghost hunter group. They have an LLC. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, anybody could buy a license or buy a well, apparently if they're gaining profit off of it, then they are not a non-profit organization. But that's ridiculous. I would be very wary if I was somebody who was actually having problems contacting somebody who charged to come into their home.
Yep, Brian saw it.
$50. They were charging $50.
Yep.
And how can you charge somebody for a service when we're not 100% if it's true or not? Hey, we got Ed back on. Let's see if we can get him on the screen.
Yep, somebody out in Oregon.
One of you two needs to message Jack with the correct link and tell him to back out of where he's at to get to this link. You know what I mean?
All right. I'll do that right now. Again.
Again.
So we got a question here. Do you think all Bigfoot all over the world are related?
Who asked that question?
Hold on. Arthur Wolford.
Okay. Well, there's a strong possibility that they are connected. Just like every person in the world is connected to some gene, one type or another. So who knows?
Have you been out doing any Bigfoot looking for, hunting, whatever you call it, checking out? I don't know.
No, in all seriousness, no, I have not. The reason being is everyone's got this whole world scared of this damn stupid virus, and it's not worth being busted outside and doing something that you want to do and then you get arrested for it, and then it's not worth it. So just waiting for everything to get back to normal, and then get back out in the woods.
Yeah.
For something stupid that was made in China.
Uh-oh.
I don't like the Chi-Com government. Chinese communist. I don't like.
Let's see. I'm still trying to get a hold of Jack.
Dustin said, "What's up?" Or he said, "Sup, goose."
What's up, Dustin? So, while we're waiting for Jack to get on, why don't you give our listeners or watchers a bit of like your origin story? Like, how did you get into researching Bigfoot? How did you get there? I mean, what was the catalyst to that?
Oh, you talking to me now?
Oh yeah.
Let's see. It all started with a film back in the early 70s when I first saw it. And it was a thing about Bob Gimlin and Roger Patterson with the Patty film. And it was one of those Saturday afternoon monster movies. Superhost actually had it. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
And saw it on his channel, and that's what got me going.
Gotcha.
And then Legend of Boggy Creek.
Yeah. Nice. So, like after that, you just started researching it yourself, or you just start walking around? I think you're probably an outdoorsman, like an outdoorsy kind of guy, anyways, weren't you?
I always was, yes.
Yeah.
And was it back in the 2011 or so? I decided to move back to Ohio.
Okay.
And my buddy Tim Stover was on Facebook, and he and I kind of reconnected.
Mm-hmm.
And he had seen the creature down at Salt Fork back in, 1992, October of 92. So we reconnected when I moved back to Ohio in 2012. We started doing a lot of research together.
Yeah.
And that's where it all started for me. And he and I had actually traveled some of the same grounds back in the day when we were growing up and had odd things happen to us in certain areas of the county. Yeah. Back when we were growing up. So it's kind of cool, kind of like reconnecting with those things and then moving forward to the future.
Nice. So you said you moved back. Where did you live before you had to move back to Ohio?
From 90 to 98, I lived in Arizona. Then 98 to 2012, I was down in Georgia.
Gotcha. No Bigfoot out in the desert, huh?
Actually, no, there is Bigfoot out in the desert.
Oh, really?
There's many Border Patrol agents talk about seeing Bigfoot along the border down on the Mexican border, which is really cool. And then a lot of illegal aliens complain about being harassed by Bigfoot.
Really?
Oh yeah, interesting stories.
Yeah. Is it like the Bigfoot that we think of in our minds, or they have a different description? I mean, is it?
No, everything comes back to the big, giant, hairy ape. You know what I mean?
Really? Yeah.
The thing that you see in the Patterson Gimlin film.
Yeah.
That's what people see.
Gotcha. Let's see. Holly Miner said, let me put up her comment. Saw one earlier today. A Bigfoot. Oh, she saw earlier today a Bigfoot enthusiast passed away. He had a 6-foot tall Bigfoot statue. His family had it moved to his gravesite. Other families are petitioning to have it removed, that it's too scary. Holly, if you have the information on who passed away, let us know, because that's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
If he's got Brian Baum asking, what do you think of the Todd Standing footage?
Todd Standing is a proven hoaxer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go to Steve Calls. Are you familiar with him?
Not off the top of my head. Actually, I'm not really familiar with. I've probably seen the footage he's talking about. Okay, but I don't know it by name.
Okay, Steve Calls his nickname is the Squatch Detective. He is a private investigator, and he can debunk any video. He can debunk any person that is trying to prove that this video is real. Yeah. The guy is magic the way he does it. And look up Steve Calls, Kulls, at Squatch Detective on his Facebook page.
Yeah.
And that's the man you want to look to to find out who's a hoaxer and who's not.
Yeah. Well, what does he think about the Gimlin Patterson film?
He loves it. He loves it.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack's trying to call into me now.
Yeah, he's trying to call into me. I've tried to explain to him. He said now he can't get the mic and the video to work. I don't know what else to tell him without shutting down the show completely. Which we got a lot of viewers at the moment.
Yeah.
We'll just have to maybe get him back on a second time or a different time.
Hey, Mikey, can you message him and tell him to hang on a second?
Yep.
Thanks. I mean, I want to get him on because he's got some.
Oh, he does.
Brilliant stories. Hold on a second. The video work. I really don't. Technology is not my friend today. As soon as I usually log on like a half an hour early just to get the computer up and warmed up and everything, and it started rebooting and doing all this updating stuff. So by the time I get on, then you guys are having issues getting connected. It was like, oh man, come on.
He said okay.
What's that? Okay.
I told Jack to hold on for a second. He said okay.
Okay. Let's see. What else do we have here? Holly's going to try to look for it, that name that passed away today. Lori Litt on YouTube said she heard the same thing. His wife is a makeup artist, from what she understands. I'm not sure. Oh, going back.
Yeah, that's Todd Standing. Yeah.
Gotcha. So I've watched the Gimlin Patterson film myself. I don't know how many times. Mike, are you familiar with that film? It's the standard one that you see everywhere all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's Patty right there. Look, that's her.
Okay, I gotcha.
see the boobie right there on her little titty? There you
go. I've watched it myself. The only thing that I can make out that makes me wonder is the face. But then again, it's old film and it's blurry, so it's hard to tell. But the muscular build, the movement, none of it looks like it's something that a human could recreate.
Well, let me tell you, if you get a chance, look for zoomed in pictures on the creature's face.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, when you see the zoomed in pictures where they actually zoom in and try to get rid of the pixels and everything to make a clear picture, the face is freaking incredible. It is very ape-like looking. It is perfect, in my opinion, of what an ape looks like. And if you actually take that old picture and put it up against a new picture of like a great ape, a silverback, whatever, you would see the similarities in the features in the face. It's really incredible.
Cool. Yeah, that's the only thing that I ever kind of was like, I don't know if that's real or not, but I mean everything else. I mean, and I've seen different documentaries that kind of break it down and try to figure it out, but it's just the movement and the I don't know how anybody can mimic that. It's just you can see the muscles flexing, and it was just to me it looks real.
Well, when you have every person in this field trying to debunk this video, and they can't. You have people that are special technicians and special effects in Hollywood, like Bill Munns. Bill Munns took this video every which way but Sunday for 20 years and tried to debunk it, and he still can't do it because it's real. It's a real video.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you get people like M.K. Davis who says that this is all bullshit and it's not. It's a real video, but they done killed a 20 Bigfoot in that video because there's blood splatters everywhere and all that stuff. Yeah, that guy's a moron.
Brian Baum said that he after watching the video, I guess he saw what you were talking about. The cheekbones are pretty prominent; they look pretty real. So that kind of I've always asked the question of guys who research Bigfoot. Do you think Bigfoot is just an animal? Do you think there's a bunch of theories out there, especially in the paranormal community, saying this is like a spiritual, mystical beast. This is maybe an alien life form. How do you describe? What is it to you? Just an ape that we don't have research on, or?
It is flesh and blood, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Flesh and blood. I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be one, but my opinion says it's flesh and blood. It is within a population of maybe 2,000 to 3,000 throughout the whole United States. So
Yeah.
you don't see them very much. That's why there's sightings here, there's sightings there. Sometimes you won't have a sighting in an area for 2 to 3 years, and then another year later, you have 3 or 4 sightings in that area.
Gotcha.
Their population is next to nothing throughout this whole
Mhm.
United States,
Wow.
but people are seeing them.
Yeah.
That's the big thing about this whole thing. Someone somewhere every day sees a creature.
Mhm.
It could be up in Geneva, it could be out in Missouri, it could be out in Northern California, Southern Florida, down near the Keys. Who knows? You know?
Okay.
Oh, Jackie.
Do you think that, are they migratory? Is that a word?
I believe so. I think that they know that when a hard winter's coming, they will move south 100, 150, 200 miles just to get out of the deep, deep cold.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting.
And the reason why I say that, you remember a couple years ago, we had some really bad winters where we had minus 35 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Well, come May at West Branch, we still had the whole lake was frozen. That's how cold it was all winter. So when you get winters like that, all animals will move further south just to get out of the cold.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, that's what we would do, right?
I would.
Well, we didn't. We're still here. We're not smart enough, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see, I'm still trying to talk to Jack intermittently here, so bear with us.
Did you ask about, did he ever do Bigfoot research in Pennsylvania, mostly
No,
Rockin',
I put it
Pennsylvania?
up there, but I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack's the one that does the Pennsylvania. He does Southern Ohio too. That's why I want to
Okay.
get him on here.
Yeah.
Hey, let me try to answer this. Let me try.
Okay.
Hey, Jackie. Jack, can you hear me? Jack? Hello, Jack.
Nope,
Jack?
there you go.
Jack? Let me try again. I'm calling him this time.
All right.
There we go. Oh, there's my ugly face. Hello. There's Jack. Can you see us? Boys, are you on?
Yeah, we're on. We can't see him. If he's using Facebook Messenger, it doesn't connect to that. He's got to click on the
Jack?
actual link.
Jack, you have to click on the actual link, not on Facebook Messenger.
Oh, we got the name of the guy. Trevor Zuniga?
Hey, hey, Goose.
Yeah.
Send Jack the actual link, and I will tell him to hit the actual link.
Okay.
Hey, Jack, can you hear me? Jackie. Ooh, someone's capping off round. Nice. Jack, can you hear me? Jackie. You boys hearing that?
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Jack, you're getting another message. Click on that link.
Do nothing else but click on that link.
Click on that link.
It might ask him for permit. If he's using his phone, it might ask him permission to use his microphone and video, and he's got to click yes on that. But it usually doesn't.
Are you guys still with me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I'm getting back to y'all. Hang on.
All right. Cool. Gotcha.
Jack in his vehicle smoking a cigarette.
Okay. I gotcha. So I guess the guy who passed away recently was Trevor Zuniga from Champion, Ohio. Trevor
Never heard of
Zuniga.
him.
Oh, okay.
Never heard of him.
There's a lot of people on Facebook that are enthusiasts, so it could be. I've never the name's not familiar to me either. We got Dustin Garrison saying his in his opinion, Bigfoot is a primate. I think that's agreed by Ed. Let's see. A lot of people say. Let me ask you this. A lot of people say that when there are bright orbs, that's a sign of them disappearing into the forest somehow. Do you think that they're all spiritual based? Or do you think it's just
now, as I said before, they're flesh and blood. Flesh and blood.
Gotcha.
But you know what? You know what? That's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong. I mean,
true. I mean, that's the thing about this field. I mean, no matter what you're doing, it could be. We could all be wrong about a lot of things.
Well, let's put it this way. I'll put a political twist into it. Imagine a country that is doing bonkers in the market, unemployment at the lowest it could ever be, and it takes one little virus to take down a country, to level the playing field between that country and its rival country that was trying to take out itself.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Anything is possible, boys. I hate Chinese communists. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah. Chi-Com government, no bueno.
Hi, Alberta from Ireland.
We got Alberta from Ireland. Hello. Thank you for watching the show. So, how would you tell? So, say I am actually. How would you tell somebody like myself to start in the field of research with, like, trying to find Bigfoot? Would you just get out there? I mean, is there books we should read? How should we get started?
My best advice to you is for anyone that wants to get involved in this, get a couple of people together to do things at the same time. You need to have the partners when you're out in the field.
Gotcha.
Second of all, I would suggest that you go to the bfro.net, go to sightings by region, click on your state, then click on your county. And then start doing research off of what's already been done. Look at areas in your county where there may have been sightings, or surrounding counties where there may have been sightings. And you start going from there. And you just start keeping detailed information where people have been from one spot to the other. And eventually you're going to start getting some activity. Gotcha. And that's the best way to start.
Cool.
And then, then there's groups like Ohio Bigfoot Hunters and Buckeye Bigfoot Research, my group. Yeah. And we try to help our fellow members on, doing research. So
do you guys accept new people a lot, or is it something that we got to work into, or like all they got in your group?
If they have an interest in Bigfoot, all they have to do is answer the questions, and then they should be in the group.
Yeah, and the group he's referring to is Buckeye Bigfoot Research. It's right on Facebook.
And
just type that in the search, bring it up. Like a lot of groups, it has a couple questions, and you're in.
Cool. Dustin said, "Do your homework, I guess, for how you want to get into the field."
Yeah, I mean, it's like even with ghost hunting, just do your homework. And
Jack's Jack's trying to get on. He just did a couple whoops.
Okay.
Jack.
Well, if he gets on, we'll see him and I'll put him on. But right now, I don't see anything yet. If you guys have any questions for Ed, please let us know. Anything he is from the Buckeye Bigfoot Research Group on Facebook and Ohio Bigfoot Hunters. And I apologize for some of the awkward silences. We are working through some technical details.
No, we're good. We're good, brother.
All right. You just said you can't hear anything now.
Well, we're getting closer.
So describe. No, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, why don't you try getting Jack on video? Will that help?
I don't know if we'd be able to hear it.
Because I'm hearing him. I'm watching him on my video. And he's messing around with his phone, and I'm looking at his dash on his Jeep. He's got 200,000 miles.
Well, if he's doing that through Facebook Messenger, it's not going to connect to the website.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it kind of sounds like it was with you earlier. We couldn't see you, but we couldn't hear you, but we could see you, at least that part.
Well, if one of you could just tell him to get off of Facebook Messenger and click the link, that'd be the best thing to do, I reckon.
does he have an email account?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Jack, do you have an email account?
Let me ask him on Messenger. We got to get this guy on because he's got.
Oh, I'm up. While you guys are doing that, I'm gonna go grab a beer. I'll be back.
So Brian wanted to know, is that a new T-shirt?
What's that?
Brian wanted to know if that was a new T-shirt.
Yeah, it's the newer designs that we've been using. That's the one that you got, Brian. A bunch of people got their shirts today. I'm really psyched about that. Hope everybody enjoys that. Brian noobs. I apologize, guys. Trying to get our other guest, Jack Warren, on here with Ed, but we're having fun with Ed at the same time. Right here.
He gave you his email address.
Yep.
What's up, boys?
Just trying to get him off the Facebook thing, and I'm sending the link to his email.
Gotcha. All right. So, any questions?
Let's see. Anything we missed? I saw one that I'm going to go back. Oh, well, not really a question, but Dustin had a statement. I'm watching a show on travel about where the drone lady is searching in the woods for Bigfoot. I can't remember the name of the show. You heard of that?
What was that again? The drum lady?
Drone lady.
Drone lady.
On travel.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, it was on that that new show, Bigfoot Expeditions.
With I didn't see that episode, so I can't comment on it.
Yeah, they had a lady they have like a cave drone, a drone that can actually fly through animal dwellings.
Oh, yes, I did see that one. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And what was the question again?
I don't think he can remember the name of the show.
That was Expedition Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Okay. And Brian wanted to know if he thought any thought about alien connections to Bigfoot.
I don't think so, but there's always that possibility. Like I said, I'm not an expert in Bigfoot.
That's almost an answer to all our questions, and even in the paranormal field, like in the ghost section of it. It's like, you could say, we have our thoughts and our opinions, but until we like actually grasp or get a hold of something, we won't know for sure.
Well, you know what? Remember Predator? Arnold Schwarzenegger said, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah.
That is the most truest statement in anything in this life. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Therefore, we can prove it exists.
Yep.
Not that I want to kill a Bigfoot, but that's about the only way it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you believe that how closely are they related to what we are now? Do you think they're a link, or do you just think they're a separate creature?
It possibly could be a missing link, but then again, I still think it's Gigantopithecus, the great ape. The great ape's stature, its body size fits Bigfoot, Sasquatch. But it went extinct 100,000 years ago. So,
yeah. Or so they believe.
Yeah, so they believe.
Now, do we have Gigantopithecus? Do we have like remains from that?
No, what we have is a couple jaw bones and a bunch of molars, teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
bunch of teeth, and that's what we were able to discern from what we've gotten. So this thing was 8 to 10, 12 feet tall,
hmm
3, 4, 5 foot wide. We're talking about 1,000 pounds, if not more. Feet size from 16 inches to 20 inches.
Sure.
Well,
Interesting.
just a big feet.
Yeah, Brian Baum said he definitely agrees with that. He thinks if it's not Gigantopithecus, it's definitely a descendant of. Let's see. This is coming from Dave Nowakowski.
Oh, Blue Tracker. Say, hey, Blue Tracker.
Ask Ed if he had any lost time in the field researching for the creature and what best to research, day or night.
I prefer daytime, but I will do nighttime.
Mhm.
And Blue Tracker knows that I've been out with him, and we've had some interesting things happen to us when we've been together. So,
Yeah.
and Blue Tracker, can you text him and say we love him and we want him to heal up good?
All right.
Can you text that to him?
Yeah, he's watching the show, so he probably heard you.
Okay.
But I will let him know.
And tell Blue, hey Blue, if you can hear me, let's get you out at West Branch soon, okay?
So we kind of talked about this, or when we were on the phone. Brian was saying, "What does he think about tree knocking?"
Yeah. Explain what tree knocking is and how you feel that's an important piece of evidence when you're out on the trail.
There have been times where I've been out in the woods. The most recent time was 2 years ago in early August. Myself, Jack, a buddy of ours named Richard Tavernier, we're over in an area doing some research, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. At about 100 yards to our northeast, we heard 2 quick knocks. Boom, boom. It was obvious wood on wood. To our southwest, we had another 2 knocks about 30 seconds later. Boom, boom. And both those areas were kind of like kettle pot bogs that were so thick, but they were connected from one point to the other point, to where we think that these creatures were hunkering down in these kettle pot bogs because it was so thick that they had the protection to hide. So, yeah, the knocks are awesome. When you hear them in person, they are awesome.
Yeah.
What's your theory on why they use that? Is it to warn you that they're there, or is it to communicate with other Bigfoot?
Communication, and to let the other creatures know that there are possible intruders into the area.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, we got another. This is a mouthful.
What was that? The coelacanth?
The coelacanth?
Coelacanth?
The coelacanth was supposed to be extinct 2 to
2 for a million years.
2 to 4 million years. So the Gigantopithecus is totally believable.
He's talking about the coelacanth.
Okay.
Do you remember a fish that was caught back in the early 30s and 1930s off of Madagascar?
Yes.
Looked like a fossil. That's the coelacanth. There are actually 2-3 different families of fish that breed. They're still breeding out there. So these fish are still alive throughout the Indian Ocean. Freaking awesome.
Wow.
Thank you. Arthur put it in phonetics phonetically for us.
Right. Can't you say phonetically, right, man?
Did you say pornographic?
Not quite, but that'd be interesting.
See you.
Hello to our friend Eileen. Hello. We love you. So let's talk about tree snaps. I know that's a thing, right?
Yep.
What are the function? What do you think the function of tree snaps are? What do they use that for? I've heard theories that it points to resources or other things. What do you think their purpose of the tree snaps are?
My personal view is that they are directional finders. They are to send the creatures in a direction to go to food, water, shelter. One of those three things.
Gotcha.
And you remember last year when I took you guys on the night hike at the Towner's Woods?
Yeah, I do.
You remember that first stop, or the second stop we made right after the Indian Mounds? We went to that tree snap that I sent Jack up on the hill.
Yeah.
That tree is still alive. So
Really?
whatever snapped that tree had strength to snap a live tree that was 5 inches in diameter. And basically what it's pointing to is the opposite side of the lake. And when you go to the opposite side of the lake, there's another tree that's pointing towards Lake Rockwell, which is restricted area.
Right.
So yeah, I think they're directional finders. They're markers.
Gotcha.
Tell them where to go.
That makes perfect sense. Now, when
I
you
really enjoyed the Bigfoot walk or that
What's
night. I learned a lot that night because I stuck with Ed.
Yeah.
You were so scared to get duct taped to a tree. You were afraid that was going to happen.
We were going to use old Mikey as Sasquatch bait.
Hey, I just heard Jack. Jack was just got on the radio. Did I not hear him?
No, I don't hear him.
I thought I did.
He could probably go in the chat and talk to us that way a little bit.
He just messaged me. He said he's going to try a different time. He said whatever he's trying to do is not working.
Yeah, he's frustrated. He's frustrated. He's done.
He said he's not a tech guy. I'm not really either, but I get it, man. I was frustrated just trying to get the show rolling tonight. Having all kinds of computer issues. So when I want to go back to the tree snaps. Like say I'm a beginner and I'm out looking and I happen upon a tree snap. What do I look for to say, okay, this is just a tree that broke in half, or this is a tree snap caused by a creature?
What I would recommend that you do is take a video of the whole tree, of the whole area, focus in on where the snap is, both different angles, top, bottom, side.
Yeah.
See if it's during the summertime. See if there's still green leaves on the part that's been snapped and they're still alive. Okay. That's what I would look for. And see how high it up. If it's up between 6 foot and 8, 9, 10 feet, that's possible. And especially if there's been a little twist in it, that it's actually something big made that happen.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I know. I remember you telling us it had to be usually, I mean, it would be up higher and a tree that's still somewhat alive, not just a dead tree, because you got to automatically debunk a dead tree as just, naturally falling over.
Exactly.
But what else do we look for when we're out there? I mean, have you found any dwellings? Have you, I've seen a lot of footage of people happening upon, dome-shaped dwellings. I mean, what do you think on that?
I've never seen them in person, but that would be awesome to find. It really would. It truly would.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any footprints?
I've showed you the footprints I found.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, jeez. No, I've actually found a nice set of tracks. I've seen tracks that other people have found that are, 14, 17 inches in length in minus 35-degree weather. You see the toes in the snow. Mm-hmm. No person in their right mind is going to be walking out barefoot in that weather.
Nope.
True. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Brian Baum. Actually, Brian, we just talked about the tree bending and tree snaps. Ed, if you want to explain that to him again, what do you think that they're the meaning behind them are, what they're used for?
The tree snaps are they're markers for go in this direction. Check this out. There's food, water, shelter, whatever. Blah blah blah.
No.
The X structures are do not go in this area. If you have two trees that are in an X shape, don't go there. The bends are I don't know. Just something that I just never have been able to figure out.
Yeah. Tony Santori asks, do you go armed when you go researching?
Yes and no. Depending on where I go, I always have my bear spray, my collapsible baton.
Mm-hmm.
Then other areas I will go, I have a 357 that I carry with me.
Gotcha. Depending on what neck of the woods you're in.
Yep, and depending on what area that I feel comfortable in.
Right.
I mean, I should carry it all the time, being former law enforcement. But
yeah,
just sometimes I don't want that extra weight. I trust my ability with what I have with me at the time.
right. Well, makes sense. And I mean, for me, I probably would be armed most of the time, just because when I used to hike back when I was actually had the knees and stuff to do it, but and it's not about the animals. It's about who you're gonna find in the woods. You're afraid of other people, not necessarily the creatures. You know what I mean?
It's the other two-legged creatures.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a good question from Eileen. She wants to know: are there different size Sasquatch? Like, is there a different size between the females and males?
One of the neatest reports I got was back in December of 2015. We had a sighting of a creature crossing the road, Porter Road in West Branch.
Mm-hmm.
And it was early in the morning. There was a big one and a small one, and they both were that sandy coyote color, that dirty snow color.
Yeah.
And they were crossing the road, a big one and a small one. So it leads me to believe that could be a mama and a baby crossing the road.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I would do if I saw one crossing the road.
Well, I would probably be doing what you would be doing. You're putting Dookie in the pants, you know what I mean?
Nice.
Yep.
Have you ever had a run?
Freeze up.
And what channel is CBS?
Hang on a second, boys. 1009, baby.
Let's see. Dustin said he goes armed when he's exploring. It's for safety. When I'm in new places, never been. Typical places, no. Or when I know the people, I carry 9mm when needed for safety.
Where's
Makes
Dustin
sense.
from?
Dustin lives down in Texas.
Yeah, Texas.
Yeah,
Down near the border, definitely. I'd be carrying a weapon all
Yeah.
the time.
sure. Hey, Dustin, doesn't everybody in Texas carry a gun? I'm just kidding, bud. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Everybody said very cool. Awesome. Have you ever had a run-in or an experience that kind of shook you up a little bit? Any close calls?
There was this property back in 2012. Myself, Tim Stover, Melissa and Wayne Larson were with me, and the property owner and their friends. We were all out on this property, and we had gotten some vocalizations on the ridge lines going around their property. We responded back, and they kept on going. This went on for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then finally, myself, the property owner, and his neighbor got on 2 4-wheelers, and we went up over the ridge, down into the swampy bottoms. And we pull up on this little grassy area. The moon is coming out of the clouds. The rain has stopped. And you hear this vocalization in front of us, about 500 yards up on the ridge. And it belted down upon us. You could just feel the force.
Yeah.
And my buddy Wayne gets on the radio, goes, "Did you just hear that? Was that you guys?" I said, "Yeah, we heard it, but we didn't do it." Then all of a sudden, right behind us, within 75 feet, we had a vocal that went off, and it reverberated through that swamp up to that top of that ridge. And as it happened, I looked at both the property owner and the neighbor in the dim moonlight, and I could see their faces go from cherry red to ashen gray. They're like, "What the fuck was this?"
Oh, wow.
Well, let's put it this way. The neighbor decided to take his four-wheeler out to the main road and go up the state route back to his house. He was not cutting through the property. So we ended up getting the heck out of there. We don't know what we're dealing with.
Right.
And it was just awesome. It's just one of my most favorite stories.
Yeah.
Because I got to witness something, and I got to watch their faces in the moonlight as it's coming out, watching them go from joy to sheer terror.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think they were warning you?
Do what?
Do you think they were warning you?
They were communicating about something. I don't know what. I don't know.
Goose is so touched that he's crying.
No, it's my usual. My eye allergies at nighttime get horrible. I gotta wipe the crud out. But no, it was pretty moving, and I am a sensitive guy.
That's why we love you, brother. That's why we love you.
So, I had a question at the top of my head, and I can't remember what the hell. I hate this when this happens.
Alberta said she was faint. If she heard that, or probably.
Well,
so what's your opinion on why we haven't been able to have 100% full proof that there is a Bigfoot out there? How do these 8-foot creatures? And I'm a believer. I believe there's Bigfoot. I'll be 100% honest. But it's something I don't understand either. Maybe as a research you would. How do these guys stay hidden? I mean, they give us peaks and they give us some evidence, but how we have not found one yet?
How come you haven't found a ghost yet?
You got me.
Hey, plain
got me, man.
No, but seriously, think about that for a minute. You remember the X-Files, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Classic TV show. Kolchak, classic.
Yeah.
There are forces outside of what we do every day that want us not to find what we're looking for.
True.
And you know it. I know it.
Yeah.
Look at everything that's going on in this world today.
Mm-hmm.
The deep state. That deep state not only deals with the political aspect, but the scientific aspect also. They don't want you to find the truth. If a good example is, and I don't believe in UFOs. I think there's a possibility it happens. But could you imagine if Project Blue Book was proven to be true, and then all of a sudden that their aliens have been here for years and years, that they're actually involved in the government? People would freak out over that stuff.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think every hard-hitting trophy hunter would be out in the woods stalking these things down and trying to put them out of existence. You know, and they're already. I'm assuming because there are so few, they're. I mean, I don't know.
Let's put it this way: every report that I've ever read with a hunter, where he's gotten the animal in its sights, with the exception of a couple, they said that they could not do it because it was too human-like.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Was it more ape, or was it more human-like, or was it the fact that it had a face like a human, kind of like an ape? I don't know.
Yeah. I would imagine. I mean, I'm a hunter, sort of. I haven't hunted in a couple years, but I used to hunt, and I can imagine. I mean, coming face to face with that, I wouldn't want to pull the trigger. It's too close to, like you said, to being human. Let's see. They should bring X-Files back. They did for a short run. I think they did a mini series a couple years ago.
I
Eileen.
couldn't watch it. It's too scary.
The best episode of the X-Files was the one where they had Andy Griffith and the deputy, the home one,
Yeah.
where they had the inbred Civil War people. You remember that one?
Yeah.
That was the best episode they ever had.
Oh, that's funny. That's good stuff. I had another question, and God damn, if I got sidetracked by X-Files. Happens every time. So I guess a question, we have Bigfoot, Sasquatch in North America. Do you think creatures like the Yeti, the abominable snowman, do you think those are all just related? Like, are they all different variations, different species of the Bigfoot?
Different variations is my guess. That's my thought. I don't have proof, but that's just my thought. You know, people claim to see a dog man, but I think they're actually seeing a Bigfoot, and they're so freaked out about what they're seeing that they actually might be seeing a big snout, but there's not there, or the big ears, it's not there.
Gotcha.
I think that's what they're seeing.
Okay, that makes sense too. What about what's that?
Oh, go ahead. Right.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say what we learned on game night. You know, in Washington State, it's illegal to harass Bigfoot. Or was it yell at it? I forget what it was.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a law. You can't molest a Bigfoot.
Oh, there you go. I did have a question. Somebody asked me in the watch party. I remember it now. As far as like finding the remains of a Bigfoot creature, why do you think we haven't really found a skeleton? Do you think that they bury their dead?
Yes. And you said you were a hunter. Yeah. Think of all the times that you've been out in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do you come across dead bodies or bones?
Very seldom, and if I did, it was like a jaw or maybe a rib.
Yeah, bone hair there, something scattered. Yeah. Because Mother Nature is so adept at destroying the evidence. Sure. Within 72 hours of a dead body being in the forest, Mother Nature's had her flies on that thing, and within 20 hours of flies being there, you got maggots going crazy. So within 4 or 5 days, the maggots have consumed a good majority of that body.
Yeah.
Then the predators come in; they start tearing it apart. The scavengers come in and do even more.
Yeah.
So within 2-3 weeks, that all evidence is gone except for a few fragments of fur, maybe some bone.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. There's a big trend to like, I want to say humanize, but I guess that is what it is. I mean, a lot of people try to connect it closer to what we are than what it actually is.
Well, here, let me put it to you this way. When I lived in Georgia, I worked for animal control.
Mm-hmm.
I enforced all animal ordinances. I was an animal control officer. And when animals are injured, they will go to a safe place. They will find the place to where they are safe. Undercut of a bank on a creek, a thorn thicket, a cave, anywhere they can go to be safe while they're sick or they're dying, to feel safe. They're going to be in that area. And chances are they're going to survive or they're going to die.
Yeah.
But think about it. I don't go into thorn thickets all the time. If I do, I'm having a hell of a time trying to get in there. I can't do it. But I don't go into caves. But their bones are found in caves all the time.
Yeah.
So these animals, they follow the same patterns of our everyday animals here in Ohio.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha. Basic animal instinct, and it just nature takes over from there. Gotcha.
Yep.
See, Mr. Bradley, the father of Heisenberg. He wants to know your opinion. Do you think Finding Bigfoot the series was a hoax, or do you think these people? I mean, they're real investigators, aren't they? Or somewhat?
Yeah, they are. They are. And the show in the beginning was awesome. As it went on through the years, it became hokey, just like the Ghost Hunters show.
Yeah, yeah.
When Grant and his buddy decided to split up, the show became stupid, and now all the ghost shows are stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But these guys actually did go out to do their research, but they never stayed in the same area. That's why myself and a couple other friends that I do research with, we stick to the same area because we know we have activity. I would rather concentrate on one area every time I go out because I know something's going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
And if I keep going back there, I'm going to get that evidence. If I miss it for 6 months, I could have missed catching a video, I could have missed, footprints, whatever.
Right.
So I keep on going back to the same area. I may change it up which way I go in, which way I go out. It doesn't matter, but I go back to the same area.
Yeah, working the same location. I mean, I know for us, like with the ghost thing and ghost hunting, I mean, we talk about Madison Seminary all the time. That's like our favorite location. It's our go-to place. Because like you just said, we're familiar. We know no matter what, we're going to go home with something. Even if it's the smallest piece of evidence, we're going to go home with something that wants us to keep going back. You just become comfortable and familiar with that location. So do people ever call you out to investigate if they feel something's going on in their property?
Yes, I've had that happen a couple of times, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And when that happens, I bring whatever people I can get together from different aspects of investigations. I will bring people from law enforcement to biology people to people like yourselves, paranormal. And we will all go out on the investigation and we'll listen to to what the witness has to say.
Yeah.
We start doing our investigations, and it works because I have a wide variety of people available that are willing to go out and do this stuff. And it works really well.
Yeah. Yeah. One of these days, man, I'm trying to get myself in shape. I want to go out on a couple investigations with you. And check it out. I mean, that thing that we did, that killed me, man. I'm like, I got to get in shape before I do this. And that was like a clean path.
It wasn't too clean. There was a lot of I almost tripped a couple times. Ed actually caught me once.
Well, what I want you to do is when we get done here, send me your phone number via Messenger.
Yeah.
And we'll set something up this summer. I want to take you to my area where we had the wood knocks.
Okay.
2 sets of knocks within 30 seconds of each other during the daytime. I want to take you to that area. And you will have a blast. You will.
Definitely. Cool. Let's see. You got Eleanor. She wants to know if you've ever done any Bigfoot investigation in the Cuyahoga Valley Park.
No, I have not, because it is too violent.
Okay.
A lot of gang members, especially in the northern part.
Yeah.
And they're down around Akron.
Uh-huh.
We'll go in there. And if you go in there late at night, you'll hear so many weapons going off. It sounds like a battle going on.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize it was that hot.
Especially up near Cleveland. Yeah, you don't want to go in there at nighttime.
Gotcha. Well, it makes sense.
But there's been some incredible audio captured of vocalizations at Virginia Kendall at the lake there.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, that was just a couple years ago.
Wow. I used to go there and just hang out. I used to fish in that lake every once in a while, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, 20, 30 years ago, it wouldn't matter if, you and I went up there late at night.
Sure.
Now I don't want to do it. If I go there, I'm armed. So
yeah, Yeah, I know a lot of people that still do ghost hunting up in that along the trails and at some of the different locks along there. And like for us, I mean, I've always been kind of like ghost hunting wise, investigating outside is just too. We need a more controlled situation, and having all that extra outside noise can get a little iffy. But
all right, well, here, let me ask you a question. We're talking about CVNP.
Yeah.
What about the Boston Heights city that disappeared, Helltown? What do you think of Helltown?
Well, I've done my research and I've driven through there. It definitely seems creepy. I think if it's haunted at all, though, it's really, honestly, I think it's more land-based. I think it's because that was a heavily populated Native American area, because it's like anything right along open areas along running water, was highly, Native American populated. I've done my research to know a lot of these places that are abandoned and so-called haunted are that way because when the national parks came through, they pushed people out, and they weren't given much time to get their stuff and get out, so they had to leave a lot behind. So I know for a fact that there's a lot of houses there that were just abandoned because the people were forced out by the government. So yeah. I mean, cool place to investigate, and there's a lot of history there for sure. But I mean, if you do your research, like the Satanic Church there, supposedly, because it's got inverted crosses in the architecture, people get cross messages with the symbolism. That was I can't remember the actual era of architecture it was from, but that was considered a Christian symbol, the upside down cross. It had nothing to do with Satanism. So, I mean, I don't know. Well,
Eileen's got a question.
Yeah, she's got a good one.
Yeah. Do you think they have Sasquatch in Europe and other parts of the world?
Yes. Yes. They call it the Yowie down in Australia, the Urine in China. You got the Yeti, you got Sasquatch, you got Bigfoot, Pia Grande down in Mexico. They're everywhere.
Now, do you ever go outside of the realm of Bigfoot, like in the grander span of cryptozoology? I mean, like, do you ever? I mean, I'm not saying like to actively go like looking for the creature, but do you like read up on like the Chupacabra or any of like Loch Ness? Is that anything that interests you, or are you pretty much
Loch Ness and Champ, Lake Champlain, Loch Ness monster? Yeah, that stuff is cool. Mbembe, Michele, something like that. The big brontosaurus type creature in the Congo, really cool. There used to be a journal that was published 4 or 5 times a year, the International Society of Cryptozoology. And this was back in the 70s and the 80s and 90s. And they had some really good name researchers and people doing this. And they would study everything from Bigfoot to the Yeti to the Grassman, Ohio, to the Brontosaurus of Congo.
Yeah.
And they would actually go out, send people out there to do these studies, and they'd find evidence, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that has gone to the wayside because it's not popular anymore.
Yeah. No.
And of course, and all their followers were old people that ended up dying.
Yeah.
Just like everything in life. Something that's popular will eventually lose its thing because no one new wants to learn about it. And it just dies off in the sunset.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It does, but
I got corrected. The going back to the Helltown subject, I want to make sure people know that I was wrong about something.
Whoa!
It happens all the time, every day, every other minute. No, the church I was talking about with the inverted cross, that is in Peninsula. I tend to get the two mixed up. I know, like, what people consider Helltown is just a greater span of area than just the Boston Heights, Boston Mills area, but I'm I'm wrong on that, but I do know that the inverted cross is not a Satanist symbol. That's just it was an architectural design. What's that?
Howie said it was a sign of David.
Ah, well,
Really?
thank you. There you go.
Really?
Thank you, Howie.
Yeah, I've never been to Helltown.
I've never actually got out of my car, but I've done a lot of reading and a lot of other people's research. And I've driven through, like, just like on a nice day, I'm going to get out and go for a ride. I've been through there. I can tell you there's definitely driving through the Cuyahoga Valley, like in that area, Boston Mills up into the peninsula, the whole national park area. Really, just crazy energy there. I mean, you just feel it when you drive through. But I mean, I'm not saying that these places aren't haunted or anything, but I just know, like, the logical explanations that when the park came through, a lot of people lost their homes and had to leave abandon their buildings, and that, of course, there are a lot of them. Most of them are torn down now, but what's left, I mean, are just skeletons. And obviously, with that, the locals come up with the urban legends, and it gets spread out to everybody. I mean, they have a crybaby bridge. I mean, there's crybaby bridges everywhere. That's like the Slender Man myth. It gets popular and then it gets spread out. So it's got Dave saying that the great area out there in the CVNP. There are parks that I really enjoy going to. I mean, I've taken my family to like Kendall Park, the ones like around Stowe, Cuyahoga Falls area. We've gone to. Haven't really ventured outside of that too much.
Now, what about the story about the military coming in, the armed National Guardsmen or something that came in and they were doing research, and then all of a sudden 2 or 3 of them end up dying and only like one survives. I saw that on Destination Channel, 6-7 months ago. And it was like back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And supposedly they found an underground bunker, blah, blah, blah. When people went back to it, it was covered with cement.
Are you talking about in the Cuyahoga Valley?
Yeah.
National Park? This happened?
Yeah. Yeah, this was a video that was on Destination Travel Channel. Must have been about 6-7 months ago.
God damn it.
That happened back in the 70s.
I've lost you a couple times too, Mike. I don't know what's going on. Been in and out. No, I know, but your video's cut out. And you there? There he is.
I see him.
Okay. Yeah, we lost your video and sound for a second.
Yeah, that's about right. They're censoring me, aren't you?
Yeah, just click mute.
You got the COVID virus. You're Corona, baby.
Yeah, you're quarantined, buddy. So you were saying something about the National Guard coming through and something happening. What was that story?
That was the video that I saw, where supposedly 2 or 3 National Guardsmen came in to investigate back in the 70s, and they were taking all these readings and stuff, and one by one disappears and gets killed by some type of creature or people, and they have the satanic bullcrap coming into the video also. And supposedly there was a bunker that they found, a government bunker. And then when people came back after the fact, that the place where the bunker was, it was all covered in with cement. So it was the entrance to the thing was filled in with cement.
Really? That's not a story that I've ever heard. I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah, this was it was on Travel Destination Channel about 6 months ago.
Okay. I'll have to check
and it was
that out.
Helltown. It was titled something Helltown.
Huh. I'll have to check that out.
One of those paranormal TV shows, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of those things.
Okay. No, I'll have to look that up. That's not something that I've heard or seen yet. A lot of people commenting on Helltown that grew up in the area. Something the toxic waste dump part was true. She knew the family that owned the barn. There's a lot of stories coming out there that I'm not 100% on either. I just know, like, from a haunted standpoint, what I've read,
Yeah.
and like what are the houses and some of the urban legends behind them. But I'm sure. Oh, she said parts of the documentary. Oh, there's a Helltown documentary apparently.
Well, yeah, that's what he was talking about, and I think she's answering him.
Yeah, she said parts of the documentary weren't even shot in Helltown. So she agrees with Tony. So yeah, I mean, you got to be careful what you watch and what you read. I mean, you can Google anything, get 5 different stories, and not one of them's true. So yeah.
Well, I always look at things this way. Being law enforcement, we're taught to shoot if we have to. We're trained to discharge our weapons at certain times, and we know how to do it, and how much we need to use of that weapon, how much ammo we need to expend to take the subject down, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with the military. And then this thing with the Helltown that I saw, you had National Guardsmen with M16s.
Uh-huh.
They know how to use their weapons. They're not just Johnny by night. Even though they were National Guardsmen, they know how to use their weapons because that's the number one thing they're trained on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a bunch of crazy people going after someone with an M16. Just my personal opinion.
Right.
Because they know how to use that weapon.
Yeah.
And then, depending on how scary the situation is, they know how to use that weapon. But I'm not an expert.
We're just enthusiasts. We never call ourselves experts.
No. Never.
We are definitely not experts.
I printed off a certificate one day from a Microsoft Publisher.
I knew you would, bud.
Are you an expert now?
Certified.
My certificate says so.
You're certifiable.
Yeah.
He paid for a BS and BS.
I majored in it.
That's for sure, man.
There we go. There it is.
If you guys have any questions for Ed, go ahead and chime in. We kind of got off topic, but that's fine. That's what happens on the show. We are a paranormal umbrella. So if you guys have any questions, feel free. What are some of the other places outside of Ohio that you've investigated? I mean, have you been? You said you said you weren't really the PA guy, but you've been there. Have you ever really got into the trenches anywhere else?
With Bigfoot, no. But I can tell you this: my brother, oh God, I love him. He crashed and burned on the outskirts of Bluff Creek, where the Patterson-Gimlin film was made. This was back in the 90s. And he had pulled off on the side of the road above Bluff Creek. And he had his dog, a black lab named Cheyenne. And this dog was not afraid of nothing, not even porcupines. Ran into porcupines quite a few times and almost lost his life because he loved them. He loved torturing them.
Yeah.
Well, so my brother, back in the day, and I don't know if it's still true, you can camp off the side of a road in the national forest within 20 feet overnight. Not a problem. So he's off this curve near Bluff Creek, and all of a sudden, after a couple hours of them just sitting there relaxing, getting ready for bed, he starts getting the feeling he's being watched. The dog, Cheyenne, starts like looking at his dad going, "Daddy, what's going on, Daddy? Why do I feel weird, Daddy?" Something watching us. It's just one of those things, You can the way he described it. He looked at his dog and his dog looked at him. And that's what the dog was saying, like, "Daddy, I think we're being watched. I'm scared, Daddy. Daddy, come on." And this dog loved going after porcupines.
Yeah.
Well, my brother, he's a Marine. He always has a weapon with him.
Yeah.
And he just happened to have his Smith & Wesson Model 29 44 Magnum, the same one that Clint Eastwood used in Dirty Harry, 8 3/8 barrel, right?
Yeah.
He's got a Smith He's got 44 special loads in there, and a little bit more control, but he can knock down a freaking grizzly if he has to. He pulls that thing out, and the dog's still nervous as hell. It got to a point where after 5 hours, him trying to sleep and he can't, they just pack up and leave. I really believe at this point he was being watched by the creature.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
Yeah. No, I have heard that people will like get physically ill.
Yeah.
If they come in close proximity to a creature, or if I know the smell could be horrendous. Like there's a certain
Yes.
hence the word skunk ape. I think I've heard. Have you ever felt or heard or like smelled anything like that? Have you ever been close enough?
I've smelled skunk before, but not to that type extent. One of my favorite stories that I can relate to this was back in 2014 at the Metro Parks in Monroe Falls.
Oh yeah,
right
in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, on a Friday night, Monroe Falls PD gets called out to the park because there's screaming coming at 11, 12 o'clock at night.
Oh wow.
Monroe Falls PD gets out there and they hear the screams. So two officers, because there's only like two guys working that night. Yeah. They get out there, they start walking through the woods.
Yeah.
Listening to the screams. Well, the screams stop, and all of a sudden 3 or 4 deer come running through the officers. They literally run in between the two officers. Right? And within a matter of seconds, there's a vocalization, a big scream that comes from where the deer were. And the officers smell a faint odor of something that just smells nasty.
Yeah.
It freaked them out. They got the hell out of there. The neat thing was, the mayor was on vacation at the time for Monroe Falls when this happened. So the person that was in charge of the city, he felt he had to put this thing on Facebook. He put it on Facebook saying that Monroe Falls PD had a strange occurrence at the Metro Park, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, when the mayor gets back in town 2 days later, that shit's gone. It's gone off the internet. There's nowhere to be found.
Wow.
And I have a friend that used to work at Monroe Falls PD, and he will not confirm or deny what happened that night.
Wow. So I mean, it happened.
Yeah. Well, then leave that to what you think it is.
That's funny. That's interesting. It's interesting too to me that when you see these documentaries and some of these like Bigfoot hunting shows, they're always out like in the dense mountain forest where you have to be like an Iron Man to be able to get out there, a tracker. Like we're talking Pacific Northwest up into Canada, that type of area.
Yep.
And you're researching right here in Ohio, like literally I live like right next door to Monroe Falls, and you're saying that they're having crazy experiences there. I mean, that to me,
no, what makes that story more believable for me was a week before. At that point I was living in Kent, and I lived off of Lake Street, where Crane Avenue comes in, right above Hutch Pet Shop. I live back.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So when I would get home from work at the Puffer Belly during the day, I'd go home, I'd change, go downtown, have dinner, have a few beers, walk back home, right?
Yeah.
So a week before this happened, I distinctly remember crossing around the corner from Hutch Pet Shop, going up Lake Street.
Yeah.
Coming past that little automotive shop. The old Hugo place was across the street where the bikes are now. I'm walking up the street and I hear the vocalization going, woo! And it just echoed down the river.
Yeah.
There were no cars on the street. It was dead quiet. I heard it. it. And it was like, son of a bitch.
Wow.
And it was like, then, the next week I see that post by the vice mayor or whoever that was in Monroe Falls with what happened to the police department.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow. So what I think what was going on was What I heard was a possible creature or a family working their way down the river, down through Kent, getting into Monroe Falls. They got to the Metro Park where they could actually spread out, look for forage, food, whatever, blah, 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 and continue on.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think they are following the river? I was going to ask.
The neatest thing about Boggy Creek, the movie, the creatures always follow the water. And it is so true today in Bigfoot research. They always follow the water. Whether it's a creek, stream, a big lake, whatever. They always follow the water.
I mean, that makes total sense. That's where the resources are. Got Matthias Tipton saying he's researched all over, and the best evidence he's still to date, is right here in Ohio. That's pretty cool.
Well, you got to remember, Ohio's ranked number 5 in all the states with sightings. Washington and California lead. Oregon, Florida, Illinois, then Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. Or it's Ohio, then Illinois. But we're like number 5 now. And Portage County leads the state in sightings.
Wow. I would have thought it would be like down more like central and southern Ohio where the, Hocking Hills and all that.
Yeah.
But they might
South
be well by people, maybe.
Yeah, but you also have fewer people down there. But up here you have restricted area where people can't go. You have
true, like around the Arsenal, West Branch area.
Akron Waterworks, you have West Branch State Park, you got the Arsenal, but you also have a lot of farm fields. You have hay, you have corn, you have soybeans, you have vineyards, orchards. You have a plethora of everything where these creatures can survive. Not only the wildlife from deer to birds and turkeys, but a little bit of everything.
I guess we're set up pretty well climate-wise for that.
Yes,
there is a lot of things around here that aren't in other states. Like it's very diversified.
Yes.
In what you can do in Ohio. Have you heard of anything like closer to Lake Erie? Like, is there? I know that's probably more populated.
Well, there were some sightings up near Geneva on the lake not long ago, within the last few years.
Cool.
As a matter of fact, Jack was up in the area this past weekend with his grandkids, and they found some interesting stuff. That was one of the reasons why I wanted Jack to be on the show, because this guy, he has a knack for getting information, and it's incredible to me because he's not technically gifted on the phone and stuff, but people contact him with the information, and God love him. I mean, he goes from Pennsylvania to North Ohio, down to South Ohio, going over to West Ohio, back to Pennsylvania.
Wow. He's a traveling man.
Yes, he is.
Track.
Hey, Holly wants to know where in Ohio, if you're familiar, where in Illinois is a hotbed?
You have to be familiar.
I would say anywhere where there's a state park, I would start looking in those areas.
Yeah.
Wherever she's from, have her start looking at her state park. Look at BFRO, have her pull up the county on the state, and just go from there and look for reports. If she wants to start looking for things, that's the way to do it. But always make sure you go with someone. Have someone with you at all times.
And that's www.bfro.org?
.net.
.net? Okay. I'm going to put that link up for everybody to see. Check out in case they're interested.
Eileen's got a good question. I wonder if they can create tools to hunt for deer, rabbits, turkeys, and such.
What was the question?
What's your opinion? Do you think they can create tools to hunt?
I don't think they need tools to hunt.
I think they just run everybody down.
Well, I think that they will lay and wait for something to come by, and it comes by and they snap its neck. A good example is back in 2011. My buddy Tim Stover, he was with his friend out doing research. And it's in January. It's sleeting rain. They come across a deer laying on its back with its legs sticking up in the air.
Wow.
Rigor mortis is obviously set in.
Mm-hmm.
When they get up to the deer, they see that the neck is wrapped around a small sapling, probably about 3-4 inches.
Ooh.
They're like, what the hell? So Tim has his camera going. He's videotaping it. They cut open the neck, and they look at the vertebrae. And the vertebrae is smashed around this sapling. Because the head itself and the neck was wrapped around the sapling. So they cut in where that was, wrapped around. The vertebrae was smashed. So tell me, how could a deer break its neck and then end up on its backside with its legs sticking up? What did that? I know a person didn't do it.
No.
Oh.
No. Not at all. Wow.
No, the funny part was they went back there 2 days later and it was gone.
Oh, that I can imagine, yeah.
Where the hell did they go to?
Somebody dragged it home.
Can you imagine finding a dead deer and you cut open the neck to do a necropsy and you find the vertebrae, just like your vertebrae here on the neck.
Yeah. Right
there. Yeah, being just totally smashed because you got put around a freaking 3-inch tree.
Right.
It's incredible. That's something with a lot of strength.
Oh yeah.
A lot of smarts too.
Yep.
Darla said they probably use a big stick. Well,
yeah.
Yeah, they very well could have. Who knows?
Let's see. Somebody else said something here. Arthur Wolford put his comment up here. Southern Indiana near French Lick is a hot zone for cryptids in the paranormal. Should go there sometime. I'll have to check that out.
I have a buddy down that way. I'll ask him about it.
Yeah. Eileen thought that description was interesting.
mm-hmm.
Cool. Good stuff.
I think you liked it because it said French Lick.
Oh, come on, man. That's
that. The deer story is very interesting because you had to know what you were doing to do that. No animal do that.
Yeah.
Or at least no regular animal.
I guess for me, it's hard to imagine something that big, that tall, that's strong, being able to be agile and fast enough to be able to catch a deer or a turkey or a rabbit. You know what I mean?
Well, think about this. You always have those reports, and you've seen the videos of like dash cams of the Georgia Trooper down in Georgia, where 1-2 steps, that thing has crossed the road. What the hell was that? That was no person, but it was upright.
Yeah, I saw that footage. Yeah, I know what you're saying now. Yeah.
I mean, that thing had to have been 8-9 feet tall with a freaking 60-foot gait, just walking.
Yeah.
In that gait when they're running, he's probably even double that.
I was going to say, you're probably
Yeah.
They can cover that much ground just by stepping. If they get running, you're pretty much done, bro, I would think. Or whatever is pretty much done.
Matthias Tipton commented, I researched southeastern Hawking and Wayne. Just came out after 6 days following a trackway. Wish I could have seen Jack. Such a great guy. Jack is a good guy. Really, really upset we couldn't get him on tonight.
Tell Matthias that I feel his pain, and tell him to check out Buckeye Bigfoot Research, please. I think he's a member. I'm not sure though.
Besides, if you heard of that, check out Buckeye Bigfoot Research. It's a Facebook group right here on right over on Facebook. Just click on it, answer a couple questions. You might be on, like Ed said, you might be a part of that already. I enjoy the group. I mean, I learned a lot by watching your posts and everything. I love watching your short videos when you find something interesting.
See, that for me is the fun part.
Yeah.
I just love getting out there, and if I find something, I'm gonna videotape it.
Yeah.
Whether it is or not Bigfoot related, who cares? It's just my fun.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You never know. You could videotape something that sets everybody on the right path.
Exactly.
Yeah, you videotape everything.
Oh, sure, for sure.
It was like I told you about myself, Jack, and Rich getting those knocks a couple years ago.
Yeah.
When it happened, I started videotaping. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I got my camera going. I was panning the area, and of course, you get the people that God love them. You gotta love them.
Yeah.
I saw a Bigfoot at the 32-second mark. It was hunched behind a branch and some leaves. You gotta love them. And but in the same token, you have to go back and look.
Yeah.
And you take your time going through that because what the hell? They may have seen something that you didn't, but what if they're right? What if they actually did see something?
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, it's a lot of pareidolia where it's just the different light refraction and with the leaves and the sticks and everything.
Yep. Yeah, I hear that. It's kind of cool to hear a cryptid guy use that term pareidolia.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we use it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way: we have one of the rules in the group. You're not allowed to post a picture with yellow or red circles.
Yeah. Yep, it's the same in the ghost hunting group. Absolutely.
Yep. The minute someone starts circling things for people to see,
yep.
no, that post is gone. Bye bye. See ya.
I would think pareidolia would be a really easy phenomenon to happen when you're out in the woods, just because there's so much movement.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Shit.
you know what pareidolia is, right?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah, for sure.
No, you're sure. Okay, you need to watch Japanese porn. Then you see pareidolia. Okay, that's pareidolia. Okay,
All right.
plain and simple.
Right?
What'd you say, Mike?
I said, don't put that link up.
No, I'm gonna put that Pornhub. No, just kidding. I don't know that link.
Ollie said something about Mothman sightings.
Oh yeah, Mothman sighting. Where was that? Oh, right there. Oh, let's see what you say. I know we just had a Mothman, most recent Mothman sighting. Actually, it's kind of funny. I read a post about 4 years ago. Somebody saw one. There was a Mothman sighting in Stowe.
Really?
Over by it was over by a Lowe's area. We go under the Route 8 underpass on Hudson Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they saw it there, and I guess there are 2 people in the car. One person saw the figure itself, but both of them were out sick for the next 2 weeks. They had such a weird physical reaction to seeing the Mothman. It was reported over to the Monroe Falls Paranormal Society website. I remember reading it there.
Really?
Yeah, pretty interesting stuff.
But nothing bad happened. No bridge collapse.
No, nothing bad.
No death mayhem.
No, it wasn't the Indrid Cold prophecy. But yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. Let's see.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
That says you had 296 listings, but none since 2018.
Holly, are you talking about Bigfoot sightings, or are we talking about Mothman still? I'm interested to know. I'm going to assume it's Bigfoot.
I'm assuming it's Mothman. Let's see who's right.
We taking bets?
Bigfoot.
Actually, what the Ohio Grassman? I've heard that term, and I've seen so-called footage of that. Is that just another version of Bigfoot that's
It's just
more-
another version of Bigfoot. You got it right.
okay? Yeah, I don't. I guess I'm assuming that gets the term because the thick corded, like kind of reed looking fur.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
Bigfoot. Yep. And our friend Darla, South Menor is the Pumpkinhead story. Yep.
Oh yeah, Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinheads of Kirtland.
I've never heard of a pumpkin head.
Yeah, or no, it's Melonheads. It was Melonheads. It was
No,
the
it was
Melonhead.
Pumpkinhead. It was Pumpkinhead.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Pumpkinhead.
I thought it was their Melonheads. Maybe they're two different entities.
No.
Whoa, nice. Was that Bigfoot evidence?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
A Bigfoot growl. You heard it right here.
Yep.
There it is. Got the Ed Weiland gives the best whoops, man.
Lord. We've had fun today, boys.
Yeah, we have. I appreciate it.
We've had fun.
Do you notice a difference between the different like in the vocalizations? Do you hear different tones? Do you think different tones have different meaning? That's like a language?
Possible. Yes, very possible. If you go to a buddy of mine, he works for BFRO. He does a lot of research up in Michigan.
Yeah.
He has about 2 years worth of audio that he collected in Isabella County. And the audio is incredible. It's your little chirps to whoops to woos to screams to howls to moans, wood knocks to screaming banshees to everything in between. And then there's various vocals.
Yeah.
And one of the vocals that he captured, and he has it listed as various, you listen to it for like a minute and a half, you're listening to something that's very primate. It's very simian in nature. And it's like you're going through a jungle park in Walt Disney World, and you're hearing the wow, and you hear the strange little clicks and different vocals that you would hear like in a wild park.
Yeah.
This was up in Michigan, central Michigan. Freaking awesome stuff. That was Isabella County on BFRO.
Okay. I remember when we had you in studio a while back, you had a recording of some amazing vocalization. Was that something that you recorded, or was that what you were just talking about?
That's what I was just talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Yeah, that's where the guy had the screams, where you can tell it's a female and a male, where the female starts to scream, and all of a sudden you hear the male go, "Whoa!" Like, "Oh, geez, stop!" But it's that long, mournful whoa.
Yeah,
it's like, no,
lover's quarrel, perhaps.
Yeah, something like that.
Eileen said you're getting all Blair Witch with your video.
Oh, hey, I can take you to a Blair Witch area over at West Branch.
Nice.
If you want. Oh, yeah.
I've heard of that area.
Oh, yeah. Todd Chalet found it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Within the last couple weeks, so we gotta get him out there with us too.
Yeah, I'd love to get out there. Darla said she joined late, but she wanted to know from you, Ed, is there a distinct smell to Bigfoot?
Yes. Yes, there is.
Yeah, kind of that dirty skunk kind of smell.
It smells just plumb nasty. Between a goat and a skunk.
Oh, wow.
But if you smelled a male goat, then you smell the skunk, then you know what I'm talking about.
So how are you guys? I know you guys have conventions and meetups and stuff. How are you guys still planning on anything for later the year? Or you pretty much just kind of put everything on the back burner.
I'll tell you what, with the stupid COVID No, don't get me started, please. This
Sorry.
Chinese Communist government conspiracy of their biological warfare weapons have put a lot of stuff on the back burners. I myself have not been able to get out because, I got a wife and family. I got to make sure they're taken care of.
Yep.
You guys do too.
Yep, exactly.
And I know you guys haven't been out ghost hunting. I haven't been out Bigfoot hunting. My buddy Tim Stover hasn't been out Bigfoot hunting because of this stuff. Because he's got families he's got to take care of. Because we don't know what's going to happen to us when we get out there. And all of a sudden you got, a couple of deputies coming out there, and they got guns ablazing, and they say, "What the fuck you doing out here? You're supposed to be quarantined." Well, blah, blah, blah. And, you don't want to go through the whole, I have rights, and this is my constitutional right to be out here. It's not a law that I can't be out here. So, to eliminate the middleman, everyone stayed in place.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That time is done. It's time to get out there. Time to get out in the field. Time to stop bullshitting. Get out there and get some germs in your body so you can fight this damn stuff. Is what it comes down to. And that's what I'm starting doing. I'm going to go out this weekend.
All right. I'm
enjoying my time.
Yeah.
And in the next couple of weeks, I want to get you out there, Goose. It's an easy hike. You can handle it. I can handle it. So if I can handle it, you can handle it. We'll just get out there and just, it's like walking out into the church. Okay. You just feel the peacefulness when you get up on that ridge. You have these big 6-foot round oak trees around you.
Nice.
And you're looking down on the little creek bed. Just relax. You feel the pressure just lift right off you.
Oh man, I bet. That's amazing.
Oh yeah. But we'll get you out there. I need to get out. We all need to get out.
Michael,
we need to get our lives back together and stop this social distancing bull crap and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least when you're outside doing that, you could still maintain some kind of social distance. But
son, I know your history. I know where you've been. I can only imagine where you've been. I'm not worried about it.
I gotcha.
Just don't make fun of Dr. Fauci on Facebook. You won't get put in jail, okay?
I gotcha. All right. Oh, that's funny. I hope we can get out soon. I know Mike and I are dying to get back into ghost hunting.
Well, listen. You send me your phone number.
Okay.
When we get off the radio.
Yeah.
And we'll plan something in the next couple weekends. It'll be a Sunday. We'll plan a Sunday, couple hours. Just give me 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
And we'll enjoy something.
Okay. Cool. We'll do. Sounds awesome. Let's see. COVID doesn't stop when you have a bushwhack and hammock camp.
No.
Yeah, I know this whole thing's been a big kibosh on a lot of things, but it's going to be, everything's opening up slowly, and we're smart about it. We can get back at it. I got to.
What a great way to take a country down, man. I'm trying not to be political.
Yeah, I hear you. Me too, man. It just does nothing but get us in trouble.
Yes, it does.
Oh well. But it's about that time tonight, folks. I think we're going to cut Ed loose for the evening. We're going to shut it down for the evening. I want to thank everybody for sitting tight with us tonight through all the technical issues that we had starting up. Let's see. Eileen says, have a good night, Goose. And she did say earlier, Ed, that you've been very informative, and she appreciates that.
Well, thank her and tell her to check out Buckeye Bigfoot Research on Facebook.
Yeah, check out it's a group right here on Facebook. Just gotta search it out and answer a few questions like a lot of the groups do, and you'll be part of the fun. It is a fun group.
No, as in one thing that I do participate in is Creature Weekend every year, and it usually happens about the third week of October.
Yeah.
As of this point, we're not sure if that's going to take place this year.
Gotcha.
Because of all this stupid bull crap.
Yeah, I hear you. I know there's a lot of things that we're involved with, conferences and stuff that we were planning on that we're not.
No.
A couple of things are still wavering back and forth, but we'll figure it out.
All righty.
Well, Eleanor wanted to know if there's another paranormal weekend in Kent. No, not this year.
Not for
They
sure.
have they decided to just stick with the haunted Kent walk in October. So I think that's all they're going to be doing for a while. And we'll see if that should be able to still happen. That's a walk around outside. So we'll only see. But Ed, thank you so much for being on. You have a great night. Thanks for coming on the show.
I will, boys. Send me your phone number, brother, and we'll hook up in the next couple weekends.
Will do, man. I appreciate it.
And Mikey, you're coming too.
Yep. He's holding the jack links.
Let's put it this way: there's duct tape and Jack Link's jerky in your future.
As long as I get to eat some, I'll be fine.
Oh, you can eat it, but you're gonna be stuck to a tree.
There you go.
All right. Hey, thank you very much. We'll see you guys again.
All right, no
Yep,
problem,
see
man.
you later.
Have a good one.
Have a good night.
Thanks, everybody, for listening.
All right, crypto heads. As usual, we appreciate you watching, and thanks. Everybody stay safe, and we will spook you next week. Mike, have a good night, bud.
Yep, you too.
Spook you later, crypto heads.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.